What's up, guys? Hopefully, we're streaming. We on the right stream, I'm hoping. uh, Happy Friday. Got a nice show, nice, cool, simple show for you guys. You know how we do it. You can hear me talking over there. There we go. So we live on YouTube. I did some streaming yesterday on Twitch, so I'll try to get back on that. I was filming my editing process, so if you guys want to see more stuff like that, let me know. We can do some more stuff like that. It was kind of fun. Got some stories, man. We all over the place today. All over the place. So let's go ahead and move it over. We got Michael Hearn. So I don't know if you guys don't know this guy. He's a bodybuilder. And he's hanging out with Jocko. You guys love Jocko. And I guess they were going to support the Subversive, which is like a submission only tournament. And kind of reminds me of Fight to Win. Got the kids out there weighing in and ready to go at it. So pretty cool. So it's Jocko Willenick and Michael Hearn supporting Subversive and the amazing show they put on. This weekend, join us for immersive combat and music experience. There will be live music, VIP seating, and, of course, some intense fighting. June 6th. That's today. Is that today? I believe today is June 6th. Ovation Square, Long Beach, California. So, was that today? What day is today? Yep, it is the 6th. So pretty cool. Let's see if they got music or anything. Yep. So they got the kids weighing in and getting ready. So if you go to Fight to Win, it's like all kids now. So, which I actually support. Those kids, they like to do the event. You know, they like to be up on that stage. Kind of reminds me of dance, you know, when they do the recitals and stuff. The kids like to be out there dancing and showing off to the parents. And the parents don't care. The parents pay whatever money they need to. It says you need the Michael Hearn super fight. Yeah, let's do it. Jocko versus Michael Hearn. Inspiring the children. These boys. Mike. Let's go Titan. This is freaking awesome. Let's go Titan. Pretty cool. Is that the kid's name? What kid is named Titan? That's pretty baller name. What's your name? Titan? Yo, go tackle Titan real fast. Nope, coach, I can't do it. Two of my inspirations in one video. Wow. I can't praise you enough for being such an awesome dad. Is that their sons? Titan is a big old stud now. That kiddo is something else. Got one just like him, the best. I don't know if that's Michael Hearn's son or Jocko's son. I don't know what's going on. So again, if you don't know Michael Hearn, he's this dude. This natural dude right here.
Grow old.
Yeah, that natural dude right there. Allegedly. He look like some of you jiu-jitsu guys. Actually, nah. And the jiu-jitsu guys don't look like that. That's some discipline, man. Dang. That's who I be fighting at Worlds and Pans. I think this guy does train a little bit. Where's his he's got some type of judo background or something. Let's see real fast. Hey, oh, that's not him. Oh, that's his son. His son trains jiu-jitsu. Okay. Who's that with the white belt? So I guess I don't know if that's Michael Hearn's. It must be Michael Hearn's son. I think he does have some jiu-jitsu background or judo. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Quan, I see AP Gi. Where's Quan at? That's a big boy. Jesus. Strong. He, he definitely got some training. I mean, he's moving kind of okay for that much bulk. That's a big, strong dude, bro. Look at his arm bar. I don't know how these guys move. I guess they don't move when they got all that muscle. That's a lot of muscle, bro. That's a lot of muscle to move. Says something new, never too late. Thanks, Dr. Samurai, for going easy on me. Uh, Most know about my judo, wrestling, and football background that helped me get and do American Gladiators for over 25 years. Got some of the usual suspects in the comments over here. How does everybody know each other? If you're famous and train in California, you just know each other. Love it, brother. Check you out, stud. Heck yeah. Titan will grow up with dad on the mat with him. So cool. Mikey was on the mat at 3 years old having fun. So cool, brother. Proud of you. So I guess Titan is his son, which is, Danny Choppa says Maiko Trin, the cleanest lifter of all time. Yeah. Oh, my bad. I got messed up over there. Man, that's a strong dude. Um, that's the dude when you sign up at Masters. That's the dude you fight at Masters. He moving good, man. I mean, for that size, I mean, that dude a handful to roll with. So cool. Shout out to him, man. We got some more news. We got Magic Man, David Taylor. He loved the miniature animals. He got miniature horses, cows. Now he got some miniature donkeys. Can't play that. If you were to tell me this was one of the most well-paid coaches in collegiate wrestling, I wouldn't believe you if I didn't know anything. It says took Ivy on an adventure to add a few new friends to our crew. We got 2 mini donkeys that the girls named Sparkle and Taco. Oh, they got some kangaroos over there. He's gonna get some kangaroos next. So they got Sparkle and Taco, and they got the miniature cows. They got the miniature camel, miniature kangaroos. They got the whole farm. This is a High Park heifer, Scottish Highland, and White Park mix. Time goes so quick. We love the furry critters, and I enjoy the quality time I get to spend with my girls caring for them. We also got 2 coon pigs, baby boar piglet, and a mama. Later this summer, we have another mini donkey and Highland that will be weaned, and I can't wait to bring to the farm. So, my man spending all that all that cowboy money on the farm. Well, it's a cool hobby, having the animals, the farm animals. Clearly these are pets, so pretty awesome, man. Look at them, got the cows and the pigs and the donkeys. I think David Taylor grew up with horses. That's why. So that's why he's like he ain't getting no horses. Everything small, everything miniature. David Taylor used to ride them horses in the rodeo. So I think I want everything smaller. Shrinkflation hit, guys. Shrinkflation hidden. Can't even get a full cow no more. You got to get the half cow, the half donkey. Shrinkflation hit us, guys. Dang, that's pretty cool. Bro, just living the life. Yeah, he is, man. He living the life. I mean, he sacrificed 20, 30 years of his life for this. So yeah, I'm happy that he's enjoying it. We can live vicariously through him. I don't think I'm gonna have any farm animals, but I can watch him do it. Marcio Andre, we talked a little bit about him during Worlds. So he's been building a team, which seems to be the way you do it. It seems to be the way DreamArt did it. Alliance did it. Atos is kind of doing it now. AOJ's doing it. So you build your youth team, guys. A lot of you guys don't want to teach the kids, but those are your champions. Those are your main. There's going to be your top athletes in a couple of years. So he just started his team, I think 2019 before COVID. So now he's starting to reap some reward. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that took home medals, and those look like gold medals to me. So that's pretty amazing. I think those are gold medals, maybe a couple bronze. Regardless, that's pretty amazing. A team that's been around for a short while, we're seeing that. These teams, Dream Mart, Marcio Andre, Soldiers, you can build a hit squad. You can build some really good athletes and really do some damage out there. So shout out to Marcio Andre. He says, congratulations to the champions and medalists from our team at IBJJF World Championship. We are building a solid foundation, and the future is looking bright. The journey continues. Our team won 7 gold medals. That's pretty amazing. 2 silver and 4 bronze. Some of our athletes went to Brazil and will be returning soon. So be on the lookout for this team. They're building it up in Arizona. So whenever people say you need a big team to be successful, I kind of disagree. You can have a small team. Everybody needs to be focused. Be focused on their goal of medaling or winning, and the success feeds off the other success. The athletes feed off the other athletes in the sense that if you see one kid winning, you're training with that kid every day, you think you can win. So that's how you build teams like Alliance. That's how you build teams like Atos. That's how you build teams like AOJ. You get these kids competing a lot, and once they start seeing results, the other kids, they start to believe in themselves. If my friend I'm training with every day wins the tournament, I can win the tournament too. Danny Choppa says, it's cool watching the kids and teens progress in real time, and it's scary how quick you end up seeing it. Once it clicks, they just absorb it so easily. And, their kid's going to pick it up anyway, and you just need to make the right environment, You just need the different posts on Instagram and making my thing not work out. But once you put the kids together, give them, specific times to train, strength and conditioning, a way to make a little bit of money, a way to get to the tournaments, they're gonna do well. These kids all gonna do well. These young people gonna do well. And as a coach, you got to figure out how to maintain that. So I think that's what AOJ is going to suffer with. It's kind of what Atos is suffering with. Their best talent has to go move out and, build their own programs. Alliance went through that for like the last couple of decades. But what they're doing now, which is smart, they just give them a school now. If you were with Alliance for a long time, they'll partner with you to open up a school, which I wish they had done years ago, but now they're starting to do it a little too late for some athletes that they could have had and kept around. If Alliance didn't mess up, they would have had checkmat. There would have been no checkmat. There would have been no TT. There would have been no. There wouldn't have been a lot of schools. Wouldn't have been no Traven schools. No Atos, maybe. No AOJ, possibly. Danny says, since the judo coach came back to our gym, I've noticed some of them have been picking up the throws. That's why I'm just trying to use mental warfare at this point. Yeah, the kids will pick up everything. And that's why you should, that's why I'm a big proponent of cross training. Do some wrestling, do some judo, do some gymnastics. You shouldn't limit kids. And talking about kids, we got Sarah Galval. She's gonna be making her black belt debut. So I'm happy that she's carrying the momentum. I just want to say from my experience, my little bit of experience, don't rush it too much. She just went through a big tournament. It's okay to take a little break, take a month off. Asian Championship is a big one. She's doing the Asian circuit, which is it's important. I don't think there's nobody in Asia for her to fight. Who's she gonna fight? All those girls are pretty small at the Asian Championship, but it's good to get that experience, but also it's good to take a break too. I'm just saying that from my own experience. I wish I had taken more breaks instead of pushing through, especially after a major tournament. Now, I'd be chilling, bro. After that major tournament, I'd be like, take a couple days, a little bit easy, because I usually get injured if I'm training really hard, do the tournament, and then I try to rush back to the gym. I usually get injured. So, if she wants to have fun at the Asian Championship, she can. I will say if they send some Korean girls, they don't really got too many big Korean girls yet, but they got some big Korean girls coming through in the future. So I wouldn't sleep on Asia too much. You got some Joseph Chins out there. You got some Brazilian Chins. You got the Japanese Brazilians out there that can surprise you. But she's young. She ready to go out there. I think about Adam Rosinski. He did 366 matches, and I feel like he had a kid, of course. Sometimes people want to slow down once they have a kid, but I feel like he burned himself out doing 366 matches at black belt, which I don't know if it's necessary, really. So she says, so excited to finally share that I'll be making my black belt debut at the IBJJ Asian Open. It's my first time ever going to Japan, and I couldn't be more excited to experience everything, like the culture, the people, the food, all of it. Can't wait to step on the mats and make memories on and off the competition scene, I guess. See you guys there. So she's going to be enjoying herself. Just be on your best behavior when you go to Japan. Sounds like they're getting tired of foreigners jumping all over the place. I believe her dad, I think Japan was the first place her dad went to, from Brazil. So, big journey for her. It's pretty cool to see these guys making their journeys, making the journey. I think AOJ will be there too. You're going to have some AOJ guys. So yeah, they all jumping over there. Jason says Otto stole this from the Mendez Bros. After Worlds, they would travel to Asia. The tournaments paid for them to appear because of their stature in the sport. I don't know if the tournament pays, but definitely what the seminar is going to pay. When they hit that easy money, and it's a little summer vacation for them. Go to Japan. They go into Japan during the worst time though, but I guess tickets are going to be cheaper possibly. I don't know. I don't think the tournaments pay. I don't think maybe some of the other ones used to. Like I think the Hickson Cup is what they used to do. That might have paid them. But they're gonna make money for the seminars, sponsors or whatever. They're gonna be good, man. Don't worry. They got money, bro. Don't worry about me, guys. Don't worry about AOJ Atos guys. They got all the money in the world. Some of us over here, we're just struggle streaming over here. we can't afford to go to Japan. Can't afford to go to Japan. Can't afford to go to Korea. They flying all over the place. I wish I could go to all these places. I gotta save my pennies, bro. Save my pennies and try to go to Jersey Open. They going to Japan. I'm going to Jersey Open. That's the reality of the sport, guys. That's the reality of this sport. We got Craig Jones. He's talking. He always talking. What Craig Jones? Can Craig Jones take a break? Can Craig Jones? Bro, can Craig Jones take a little break? I lost my post. I lost Craig Jones. Craig Jones, he hurt me, guys, and he disappeared. I'm sorry, guys. Craig Jones. He does. Well, I guess he does party a little bit. I don't know what Craig Jones does. And I don't want to know. Bad news over here, guys. We got Paige Van Zandt. If you guys remember her, she used to fight in UFC. Says brutal Paige Van Zandt injury threatens paralysis, ends power slap title clash. So she was in UFC. I believe she got dropped. We need to look that up. And then she went to bare knuckle boxing, I believe. And then she went to power slap. So I don't know exactly what she was thinking. Well, she wasn't thinking. But seems to be like all that damage is coming back to her. So let's actually look some of this up. Yeah, the power slap is the worst thing. Dana White, the fact that he created power slap, that tells you everything you need to know about Dana White. So I don't ever want to hear you guys defending Dana White on this channel. It says all these stars UFC needs a mental support. This is not sport. So we're actually gonna check this out. Can we go to their page and see? I'm hoping nothing pops up over here. They got the BJJ fanatics all over the place. They got the AI generated the AI generated post over here. So let's listen to her. Let's actually go to her page and see what she had to say.
Seen the news, my upcoming power slap match for a title is postponed. Unfortunately, I had to pull out. I have a pretty severe neck injury. If it was not such a big deal, I definitely would still compete, especially because I was just really excited. It's, such a big deal, and I was so excited for, Power Slap to give me the opportunity to fight for a title. I have what is called a spontaneous spinal epidural hematoma. So it actually didn't come from training. It is a 1 in a million freak crazy injury that happened in my neck. So I was having problems with my neck. I went and got an x-ray because it was feeling pretty serious, and I kind of knew something was wrong. The x-ray showed a little something, but they were like, let's get an MRI just to be sure. Went and got an MRI. The radiologist called me and was like, you need to see a neurosurgeon immediately. I got in with a neurosurgeon. Thank you. To the Power Slap team has been super helpful. Everybody at the UFC, they've been so helpful in getting my scans and stuff reviewed. But basically the neurosurgeon at this point, one is surprised that I don't have any neurological issues, because I'm going to put what it's called in the caption. It's extremely serious. A lot of times people become paralyzed, start losing function of their arms and legs pretty quickly. I don't have that, which is a really good sign. It's been, I've been dealing with this for about a week now. It's almost now to the point where I do feel totally fine. I do have some issues, mostly actually sitting and laying down. I can stand and walk around and feel completely fine. So the next steps, they ordered me a bunch more tests. We have to figure out why this happened and where the bleed. So basically I have a bleed in my spine. We have to figure out where it came from, and why this happened, because it is extremely rare and typically only happens in high trauma situations and like car accidents. And I've obviously haven't been in a car accident, especially recently, and I haven't been sparring. I haven't been going live. I strictly was getting ready for Power Slap. So for this to happen, I think the neurosurgeons want to understand why. Then the next steps are getting cleared. And of course, no neurosurgeon wanted me to compete right now, especially with this happening, because if it does get bigger, yes, there is a chance I will be paralyzed. And that's just kind of a reality that I've, come to accept. But I feel really good. I'm in good spirits. I'm not super, I mean, it's concerning and I'm being very careful, and obviously I pulled out for a reason, but the way I feel right now, I have a feeling this was just a freak thing. My body's going to reabsorb the bleed. It's not going to get worse. And, I'm going to continue on with my career, and that's just the way it goes. It's pretty scary and freaky. I tried recording this a few days ago, but I couldn't stop crying, but I feel good right now. So, if you guys don't mind, prayers up for me on Thursday. I go in to get a bunch of scans done. So, hopefully those show that this is just going away on its own. And I don't have to have surgery, and it's not going to get worse. And there's no other complications that caused this to happen. I'm working with incredible neurosurgeons. I feel very taken care of in this whole process. Unfortunate freak thing, big bummer. What's crazy is the UFC doctor has never seen this happen before in a professional athlete, and they deal with all professional fighters. So it's pretty crazy. So I'm gonna put the name of it in the caption. You guys can look it up if you want to. It's serious, but I'm gonna be all right. So, peace. What's up, guys?
None of this makes sense to me. She's like, I haven't been in a car accident, but it's in a slap fight. That seems to be the cause of all this stuff, right? Are people blind to this? She's like, yeah, it's just they only see it in car accident victims. I'm like, isn't power slap essentially a car accident right there? Jason said, Paige left UFC because she said she couldn't make more money on OnlyFans. Yeah, if she's making all this money on OnlyFans, why do all this stupid stuff? And power slap is stupid. Nobody can defend that crap. Stay on OnlyFans, girl. Why are you doing any of this stuff? It ain't worth it. Danny says, hopefully she ain't doing power slap anymore. I'm so outdated on what she does anymore. Yeah, well, I think this is the wake-up call. This is the warning sign. Hey, better stop this crap. So we'll see. She needs to stop. Don't listen to no UFC doctor. What? You know that corrupt dude. You know if you're a doctor in the UFC, you corrupt. Yeah, bro. If you guys don't know Paige, this is her. Yeah, she just stay on OnlyFans, girl. I get it. Maybe she wants to fight. She still wants to show that she's, an athlete. She wants to, she is an athlete. She's an OnlyFans athlete. Just stay on OnlyFans. That's just the way it is. Make your money. You're telling me there's no other ways to make money? I'm a dude, so we just gotta work. But this to me, this is no surprise that there's damage, potentially, paralyzing. Look at this. This is retarded. This is dumb. This is dumb. This is dumb. Why? How? Are you surprised that your neck is jacked up? How could you be surprised? That's a car accident right there every day. How do you train for this? You just train your neck? Clearly your brain and neck are taking damage. Paige had such an odd post-UFC run. OnlyFans, bare knuckle fighting, power slap. I'm pretty sure I missed something. Yeah, who knows? Well, OnlyFans made sense, of course, at least. Yeah, she might have the CTE. She definitely suffered concussions. Again, guys, concussions don't have to be structural. You can't always look at an MRI and tell someone had a concussion, Jason says, is anybody buying this? She's telling us that her combat sports and power slap had no effect. Well, she's delusional. She got what BJ Penn had. Sounds like Dana was like her, here's how we're going to spin this. Dana White, bro. They got a special place for Dana White. Yeah, she should just stay on OnlyFans. I support the OnlyFans. Is that Pat Downey? No. Yeah, just stay on OnlyFans, girl. I know you want to be a fighter, but that's kind of past. You know, those days have passed. You know. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I was gonna actually look up her career. So she's still young. She's 31. We're just gonna go to her Wikipedia. She's from Oregon. Da 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 da. She's yeah. She had a lot of hobbies though. Oh, there we go. She had some issues, guys. I'm not gonna read her background. You guys welcome to check out her Wikipedia. She had some issues growing up. Oh, Van Zant. It's not her. Oh, she had a lot of issues, bullying and some other stuff. So she changed her name. Oh, she changed her name because of bullying. Oh, so she's got some reasons why I think being a fighter is, something that helped her cope with the bullying and the other stuff she went through. So I'm gonna let you guys read that if you want. She was in UFC in 2013, so that was a while back, 12 years ago. So she was in UFC and let's see. She was in UFC for a minute until 2015. Oh, she fought Rose, who's a really great fighter. That kind of sidelined her a little bit. Then she did Dancing with the Stars in 2016. Then she fought the Karate Hottie. She was fighting some good talented people. Let's see. Oh, so she actually was doing well, but then she had to take a hiatus because she broke her arm. So she didn't fight till 2019. She did pretty good, actually. Yeah. But she kept injuring her arm somehow. Yeah. So she kept injuring her arm. That's why she had to keep pulling out of the matches. I don't know when she was. And then she fought in 2020. That's the last time she fought. And then she went to bare knuckle boxing. No, I guess she was at Kim Shamrock's. I kind of just skimmed through it. She was at bare knuckle boxing in 2020. Um, she did that for maybe a year or two. Yeah, she did that for about 2 years. Then she went to Misfits Boxing. That's what we were thinking of. 2024. The present she fought. Oh, so she did a boxing. She did a pro boxing match, which ended in a draw. Now she's doing power slap. So all this happened recently. 2024, she did Misfits Boxing, and then she did Power Slap. So she made her debut last June 2024. Then she did it again in October. And then she did it again in March. So she did it in March. It's what, June now? And so I guess she was trying to make this match happen the 27th of June, like 2 weeks from now. But I guess that's the one she had to pull out of. So yeah, she's been through a lot, man. She actually did pretty well as a fighter. What's her record? It's 18-1? No. 13. Oh, it doesn't have her whole record up there. It had the amateur in there too. Don't have the losses on there. Where are the losses at? She was at Ken Shamrock gym. So she been through a lot, man. She been through a lot, unfortunately. So I think a lot of that, her keeping, boxing and the UFC and Power Slap, I think that's just something she's just so used to having, helped her during a bad time in her life. So I'm actually really sorry to hear about that. That's why when we get guys like J-Rod or what's the other one? What's the other guy? The Daisy Fresh guy? Jacob Couch or any of these guys, when they do stuff like that, there's a lot of girls like Paige Van Zandt in our gyms, You might not know their story, but there's a lot of girls like that. And then, it's supposed to be a safe place, a safe space. And all it takes is one person to mess that up, that dynamic up. So, hopefully we can inspire you guys and whoever's watching to be better people, at least in your gym. You could be a terrible person in your life, but try to be a good person in the gym, guys. We got homeboy, he talking about living with John Jones.
Jones at college?
It is true, unfortunately. I had to share a room and a bunk bed with him.
What was that dynamic like? How did that even come to be?
We both went to the same junior college, Iowa Central Junior College, and we were both national champions for the team. They were the best junior college team, and they were really a good breeding ground to get you ready for the Division I level. So we were in Fort Dodge, Iowa, and the coach was just like, hey, you're our two best wrestlers. We want you in the same dorm together. So we shared a bunk bed, we used to cook each other meals and even do each other's laundry at some point. But, things went south as, he started to do steroids and started abuse substances. And, that's when things changed.
Is it true that you're roommates with John Jones at college?
It is true, unfortunately. I had to share a room.
Yeah, so, I guess Kobe saw something in John Jones. You guys like John Jones. I wouldn't give him a glass of water, but John Jones was a good wrestler. I think he had some issues or maybe low grades or something, so he had to go to junior college. And I believe his girlfriend, but girlfriend at the time, I believe she got pregnant. So that's kind of what made him go into, MMA and the UFC. So, John Jones was very talented. He possibly could have been, a champion in Greco or something. He had some potential. We got some more wrestling news. You guys know I like a little bit of wrestling. We got Chael Sonnen.
Kyle Dake got you?
No. I felt him one time. I asked him a technique. And Christian, I swear to goodness, I was so embarrassed because the feel of Kyle Dake, he felt so different that I knew he was feeling equally awkward back. But I didn't know how to act. When he says, get a side whizzer, I've been a side whizzers my whole life. It's not the same when you touch him. He says, oh, get me in a front headlock. You get him in a front headlock. It's not the same. He feels different. He moves, and he has little mannerisms that are so small, he is so uncomfortable to touch. But could he gut wrench me? No.
Wow. Do you think Kyle Dake got you?
No. I felt him one time. I asked him a technique. And Christian, I swear to goodness, I was so embarrassed because the feel of Kyle Dake, he felt so different that I knew he was feeling equally awkward back. But like, I didn't know how to act when he says get aside.
So yeah, apparently Chael Sonnen doesn't believe anybody can gut wrench him. Anybody under 200 pounds, apparently. So we saw a video of, I believe someone at Iowa or somewhere. They're trying to gut wrench him. And let's be honest, man, Chael Sonnen is he a big dude, bro. You know, he's not in fighting shape no more. He like 230, 240 or something. He fat. Not the fat shamer, but he fat. So yeah. So now we need to see this Kyle Dake versus Chael Sonnen in a parterre only match. Who wins? Kyle says, "I'll take the undefeated streak from Uncle Chael." Chael, he's got the hardest name to say. Is that like Irish, an Irish name or something? Says Lee and Dan Dennis can turn him. Nephew Dake, cause you getting younger every day. Undefeated versus undisputed. Let's see. Kid Dynamite forever. He doesn't know your Greco pedigree. Stop it, Kyle. Uncle Chael doesn't. He taught you parterre. It was 2007 at Fargo. I was there. Go get him, Kyle. He just talks too much. My money's on Dake. Heck, I would take Colette over Uncle Chael. Grandpa Chael, yeah, 100% disrespect in my opinion. He couldn't touch Kid Dynamite. Let's stop putting a mic in front of this guy. we got the mic in front of all the people with CTE for some reason. Everyone knows Kyle Dake could definitely turn you, pal. Now do JB versus Khabib. Undefeated and undisputed, never lost a round. Chael is great. He would be a fun coach to have in the room. So I want to see that. Can they set that up at Final X? And make it so Chael's got to spend like he got to donate $50K to beat the streets if he get turned. I would support that. So talking about the youth competing, we got Jalen Financier talking about his becoming a world champion. Jesus Christ, what just happened? What just happened there? Yo, you guys seeing that, right? My stuff's falling off.
Training up to the Worlds. A day. My first half of my Worlds camp, I was still in.
Got music. He says the music's getting me. So this is Cobringa's new son with his old son. The son he always wanted. So he won Worlds this year, first year at black belt. So he's kind of talking about his training. I wish I could play the whole video, but the music's getting me. That's him as a kid with his daddy Cobringa. That's him, basically training full time as a little kid. So yeah, 19 years old, just won Worlds, living a life, man. So that's pretty amazing, Maybe one day Kennedy will make his dad proud, like Jalen did. Jalen made his dad proud. I got to give Kennedy a hard time because, I actually know Cobringa and Kennedy. We got Rosinski. If you guys clicked on the thumbnail for the video, Rosinski retires. Adam Rosinski has completed the Grand Slam and captured his second world title, and now he's officially retired from competition. And in an emotional moment, he left his black belt on the mat, marking the end of a legendary career. Watch his journey to gold, his back-to-back world championship victories, and hear him reflect on walking away from the sport at the very top. So I talked about Rosinski a little bit. He did 366 matches at black belt. And I think he got his black belt in 2018. 2018 to what's now? That's like 8 years. So, actually that's not a bad career, I think he could do a little bit more, just do a little bit more while you got the ability. sometimes, I mean, it's not MMA, right? It's not like Khabib or Paige Van Zandt or anybody like that where, all right, you're getting brain damage, you're getting, you getting paralyzed. I think you should push a little bit more. I would like to see him push until you get some more Europeans in there. Kind of just inspire, stay just to inspire the rest of the youth from Europe a little bit more. Try to help those guys come up. I kind of wish Wrzinski had stayed in Poland, in Europe, and kind of built there. I just think, I think the wave in Europe would have been better. He could do more building in Europe. I mean, he could always move back, but he got his green card. I think he wants to live in America, but I feel like he could do more in Europe, in Poland, in Germany, UK, wherever. I feel like there was the opportunity, maybe not as much money right now like in America, but I feel like there was a really big opportunity for him to really. I'm not even thinking about the money. I'm thinking about, his legacy. Of course, he could have a gym in America and build up Americans that way, or build a gym in America, bring all the Europeans to America that way. That could work. I just think he could have done more at home. It's not like Poland's Brazil where sometimes the guys try to get out of there. But you're seeing the guys now, they build their schools in Brazil, Soldiers, Dream Art. Like they build the gym in Europe, in their home country, Brazil, and then they make the sister school in America. But I'm interested to see what he does, because this reminds me of Alexander Trans. I don't know if you guys remember Alexander Trans, but he was like, he was like Wrzinski. He was like Wrzinski before Wrzinski. He was the Wrzinski that had to fight, Adolfo and all these guys. Buchecha. He was the Wrzinski that didn't get lucky, So I believe he moved out to Texas, but he's from Denmark. I just think he could have done more to inspire people. I mean, it's his life, but, I'm thinking like big picture. I wish I could have done that in Europe. When I lived in Europe, I wanted to create like the best program in Europe, create athletes in Europe. It didn't go my way, but at least I tried. So I'm not sure. I know in Poland, nogi's a little bit more popular, but man, you could grow the gi, man. Polish people tough, bro. You make some killer Polish people, bro. They're gonna do well. So yeah, shout out to him. I'm ranting, bro. Got another clip. John Jones talking about John Jones. He over here getting tripped. He over here going for a ride. That's not a trip. It was a near trip. John Jones, man, he a lanky dude, bro. His reach and legs, bro. He must have been a nightmare to fight. And just that dark personality, that dark personality to hurt you, kill you, basically. No score, but it was nice. Yeah, no 2. Talking about tournaments and takedowns, we got Hyperfly.
Break it! Set up your game. Break that break.
this is a great time to plug our sponsor, Inverted Gear. Get your inverted gear gis. I've never seen an inverted gear sleeve rip. That Hyperfly was ready to go. That Hyperfly died.
Bring in the grip. Yeah. Set up your game. Set up your game. Break that grip.
Yeah, so when you're competing and your gi rips, you have like 5 minutes to grab a new gi. So make sure you're bringing 2 gis when you go to compete, guys. I'm gonna bring 2 when I go next weekend. Yeah. So I mean, shoot, that sucks. Hopefully that gi wasn't $200. Imagine that's your $200 gi. Bro, I'll be upset. I'll be a little pissed off. That has happened to me before. You know, I bought a new gi and I think I wore it like one time, and then I think the first time I wore it, it got ripped. The pants got ripped. And man, I was so upset. So now, speaking about gi, we got some gi shenanigans. This is how some of you guys be rolling. So I mean, you can go hard at the tournament, but just remember, this looks like Atlanta Open too. So we have one guy. Can we move it? You know, he's being a little frosty. Can't play the music, man. The music kills me, bro. So we'll watch it one more time now that you guys can actually see it. So you know, it's kind of, you know, a little aggressive here, pushing ahead. You know, a little emotional. And then, I mean, don't get emotional, guys. Isn't that what Danaher said? Don't get emotional. That's the exact same thing a serial killer would tell you. A little bit more wholesome. We got a grandma. Grandma's out there on the mat, guys. Grandma's training more than you guys. Grandma over there, you know, she doing it. So I love seeing the older people training, you know. It's inspiring to me. It's inspiring to the kids. It's motivating to all the older people, the midlife people that be like, I'm too busy, I can't do it, blah, blah, blah. But look, Grandma out there. Grandma got her gi on. She's getting her sweat on. She's learning some techniques. So, man, I love seeing stuff like this, guys. Very inspirational. I'm not inspired by the juiced up, MFs that are just, you know, shirt out and taking all this crap. I'm more inspired by this lady. She could easily stay at home and, you know, watch some telenovas or, you know, whatever little stories. But man, she's out there training, spending time with the grandkids, moving around. Man, that's inspiring, man. I hope I'm still moving around at that age. You know, I'm abusing my body. But yeah, man, that's so inspiring. That's who jiu-jitsu's made for. It's not made for these crazy guys that are just got a huge ego and want to demolish everybody and show how good they are. And I can take more steroids than you. I can shorten my lifespan faster than you. We don't care about that. So again, guys, you guys are like, oh, well, you know, take you guys out there defending J-Rod and Jacob Couch and whoever else, all these other guys, man. You can't have both in your school. You can't. Who would you rather have in your school? J-Rod gooning in the corner over there, or you have this lady, you know, inspiring everybody to come train? Who would you rather have at your gym? Who would you rather have as a student at your academy? I know who I want at my academy. Man, that's wholesome, man. That's the jiu-jitsu I want to be a part of, you know. You guys can have your B team, you know, I understand. But listen, it's hard to have a B team. Even B team can't be B team. They gotta tone it down, right? B team could do whatever they wanted, but eventually you gotta tone it down. It's not good for business. It's not good for It's not good for anything, really. It might be good for views on YouTube, but most of those guys are degenerates. Most of us are degenerates. Jason says, I don't know about this. I think she should do something safer, maybe some Echo Power Slap. Greg Saunders, bro. Greg Saunders reminds me, I don't know, but he kind of reminds me of those snake oil salesmen. I'm not saying that's what he is, but that's what he reminds me of. I don't think we need to sit down one day and go through his videos. I might do that on Twitch. I believe Twitch might be the better place for me to sit down and do that. I'll force myself to sit down and stream on Twitch. Shout out to Cousin Tony. You guys know Cousin Tony. He got some good technique, man. So Iron Horse, that's my gym in Georgia. So he's showing, how to break someone down when they're in a 4-point stance. So pretty important stuff here. Hopefully he got music on it. He definitely got some hip hop on it. I know Cousin Tony. He got some New York hip hop on it from the 90s. So he's showing some good techniques. If you guys want to learn some good techniques, go to Iron Horse BJJ and go give them a follow, guys. Cousin Tony got some good techniques. Also some stuff that works for MMA. He got some good no-gi crab ride stuff. So go check him out. We got Kyle Terra.
Have a really hard time finishing from the triangle on the mount position. Guys, you don't even need to cross the arm to the other side. But one thing is, if you try to pull the head towards you, you might end up getting rolled over. Continue to hold your shin and just put your weight all the way forward. The moment that you do that, you can take a look that my opponent will feel excruciating choke if I go all the way forward here. Look how my hand goes. Look how I start going all the way forward. And as I do this, look how my leg gets really tight to his neck. And I can get the tap really, really easy. Now take a look, like I'm gonna try to not put a lot of pressure here. Take a look that if my face gets sideways here, now my leg will have so much more power to squeeze. A lot of people have a really hard time finishing.
So shout out to Kyle Terra. I don't know why he posted this, but comments on this post have been limited. So think about what you post, guys. Sometimes I make a post and I'm like, yeah, sometimes I make a post. I'm like, well, I wonder if this is gonna go over well, So sometimes you got to take the risk, and maybe it blows up, or maybe it blows up in your face. Who knows? Jason says your boy John Thomas put out a good video on open guard passing. Yeah, John always got some good passing. My boy John always got some good passing. He got some good knee cut, Toriando. He gonna get you some good stuff, some guard stuff. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know why he did this video. I mean, it's kind of funny, but it's a little messed up too. And now imagine Kyle Terra's in the kids class, and you're like, oh, didn't you just do this video? So a little messed up. They probably they should have just stuck with the technique. They didn't need to do the whole skit. Sometimes you got to think, hey, is this appropriate? Is this okay to put on there? Speaking about fathers and bad skits, we got Jocko. I'm not sponsored by Jocko, but I wanted to check out some of his stuff with you guys. Low key, some Diddy type behavior. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it, and I ain't share it or like it. You guys can share it and like it if you want. To be honest, bro, I don't even like social media like that. I might post. I think I post a video like every now and again, just because of inverted gear or BJJ mental models. But I've been more chill. So we got Jocko. He got, I don't really drink coffee or anything, but he's got the Jocko Fuel. I saw this one recently, the Jocko Milk Protein. That's how they say it in Scandinavia a lot of times. I saw that was kind of cool. I believe it's got caffeine in it. I'm not a caffeine person. it just seemed kind of cool. He's got a lot of products coming out, so I think Jocko's smart. Very smart guy. Making products. I believe he's also, does he own Origin too? He's got the milk basically, protein shakes. So he's doing a good job. I need to. Well, I'm not really into supplements like that, but it's good to have. Is that Rotulo, Cade, or Ty? It's good to have like products. I think it's good to do your sponsorships, but it's good to have your own products too. Something I've been slacking on. I haven't really been doing as much. And he's probably in a store near you. He's got the protein powders, the drinks. I don't know how good this stuff is. You guys got to let me know. How's his hydration? Jocko Hydrate. Yeah, that's pretty cool too. So he's doing it, it looks like it's working. I think Joe Rogan, did he learn that from Joe Rogan? The create supplements? Let's move on. We got Victor Hugo. He says he could choke out Tyson Fury in a real fight. Well, yeah, bro, I think you could. Now, he's going to punch you. My man Victor Hugo, he learning from Craig Jones. Remember what I said? Call that rage bait. Just start shooting at all the targets and hopefully maybe you get one of those celebrities to kind of fire back. Steal some of their clout. Says striker versus grappler matchups have been a big fantasy in combat sports long before the UFC existed. And while we're unlikely to ever see it play out, BJJ standout Victor Hugo has been imagining a modern version of that battle between himself and boxing legend Tyson Fury. Speaking on the Simple Man podcast, Hugo admitted that even though he's not looking to make a career shift to MMA, the idea of clashing with Fury has crossed his mind. So, this is the same Craig Jones marketing playbook. It's the same stuff. I kind of want to see something new, Craig Jones. Is there some new marketing? I guess it works, but I want to see something new. I like the the nonprofit stuff. I kind of like that angle. I almost feel like if Craig Jones stuck with the nonprofit stuff, he would do well too. But what do I know? Sometimes I get on this trip, I'm like, man, I think if me and Tyson Fury get into a fight, I think I can take him down and like rear naked choke. They must be partaking of some substances before they get on that podcast. It's not the first time a high-level grappler has sized up Fury. Isn't Fury retiring as well? As a hypothetical opponent, Gordon Ryan previously made similar comments. Well, they're using the same playbook. What marketing book did these guys all read that tells them to do this stuff? For Hugo, the question isn't about fame or payday, but about who would win in a real fight, no rules fight. That guy, he's worth so much money, but if it was actually a fight, I think I could take him. My man Victor Hugo delusional. He's aware that Fury, an elite boxer, or any elite boxer, could potentially land a punch before the takedown, but Hugo sees those odds as slim once range is closed. I think they could tag us, maybe get tagged with the jab or something, but once you close the distance, what's there for them? So this reminds me of the whole gorilla, fight debate. Why are you picking fights with gorillas? Why are you picking fights with Tyson Fury? Tyson's a big guy too, but I don't know. I think this marketing's played out. I could be wrong. Seems to be working. I can't do it. People actually run up on me. They're going to run up on me. Heard you talking about me on your live stream, Alec. Talking about fighting, we got Robbie Lawler. He explains why he never chased submissions. If you submit someone, there's tricks. In a recent appearance on the Helwani show, Robbie Lawler pulled back the curtain on the mindset that fueled his path to UFC stardom, a mindset that prefers knockouts to submissions every time. Here's what Lawler said when asked why he so rarely chased submissions. I want to beat people up. He got CTE too. Danny Chapa says, I say Tommy Fury does have a pretty long reach to close the distance. I mean, Victor Hugo's big, but he's not the most coordinated person I've ever seen. Tyson Fury, he big and he can hit you. I mean, to be honest, if Victor Hugo was gonna make some money, he would have to do boxing with Tyson Fury. And we saw with Ngannou what happened. And I'll tell you, Victor Hugo ain't got no chance in heck of beating Ngannou. He gonna get knocked out. How many grapplers got to get knocked out before we learn our lesson, guys? So Robbie Lawler, he wanted to beat people up. His brain cells gone. If you submit somebody, there's tricks, right? There's little tricks like you tricked me. But if you whoop somebody's butt, you beat them up. Then there's really no trick to that. Lawler's most famous quote on the subject came in 2016. At the time, he weighed in on Conor McGregor's loss to Nate Diaz. Had he fought McGregor, Lawler said he wouldn't have gone for the choke. He would have taken his soul. So, pray for all my UFC and MMA bros. They got a lot of issues. They need therapy. They don't need to be fighting. They just need therapy. He did just freaking take his neck and let him off the hook because he had him. Could have done whatever he wanted. Bro, what's wrong with these guys? The CTE is kicking in. But that brutal mentality doesn't mean Lawler lacks pragmatism. When asked if he would ever refuse to tap, he was honest. I would tap. I would never go to sleep. That's stupid. Oxygen away from your brain? What does that prove? If you got me, you got me. So he's okay with you taking the brain damage, but once the oxygen gets cut off, he said you gotta tap out. So I really worry about my MMA bros. My MMA bros losing brain cells by the second. they jiu-jitsu people losing brain cells by the minute too. Some more news. We got Lomachenko. So if you guys looked at the thumbnail, he was on there. So he's retiring. We got Adam Rosinski retiring. So it's a part of everybody's career. Even me, I'm holding on, but I only got maybe 2 years. I can only hold on and fight these enhanced guys for maybe 1 or 2 more years. So it's real, bro. It's some real stuff out here. It says current IBF and IBO boxing champion and 2-time Olympic gold medalist Vasilil, I'm not saying that right, Lomachenko announces his retirement. So he's still a little young, but again, let's look at his record. Lomachenko announces his retirement after an 18-3 pro career and a 396-1 amateur record with 2 Olympic gold medals and titles in 3 weight divisions. So he's got more matches than Brzezinski. So you guys can burn yourselves out. That's what was trying to say to Sarah Gaval. You can easily burn yourself out. Actually, it might be hard for the girls because it's hard for them to get matches, a lot of matches. But for the guys, it's easy. It's easy to want to compete. I think I did the math. Brzezinski had to be doing like 2 or 3 tournaments every month somehow to get to that number of like 366 in 8 years or 7 years or whatever. I think I don't know when he got his black belt, but you can easily burn yourself out, and then that can force you to retire prematurely. It says dude's prime was spent in the amateurs. Yeah, sometimes that happens. He went pro at 25. Getting robbed in the Haney fight didn't help. It wasn't he I don't know what that says. True, but professional boxing robbed him. I think you would have fought 1 or 2 more times. I'm not sure what they're talking about. He beat Haney too. He waited too long to turn professional. Did absolutely nothing in the professional scene. Happy retirement though. Got a troll over there. What do you mean he did nothing? He's a 3-weight world champion. He did a lot. Clearly, you know absolutely nothing about boxing. Stick to fighting. Nobody's in a cage, bro. That's your peak. I don't know who they're talking about. Let's see. Yeah, got some comments. I'm just reading a little bit, seeing what they're saying. One of the greatest to ever do it, regardless of turning pro late. Love watching his fights. Loma is a absolute beast for sure, but this is why boxing is lame. And more dangerous than MMA. Boxers go through 200 to 400 amateur fights, getting hit in the head and face, and having their brains rattled multiple times per fight. When a boxer gets knocked down, they have to get up in 10 seconds or less just to get hit in the head more and knocked down again. Then they have to do it again in the pros. In MMA, you have to make it to the pros way quicker. Some make it pro with less than 10 amateur fights. But when you get knocked down, if you're out, the ref calls it. Or if you're not fully out and you get hit a couple times while on the ground, then the ref calls it, causing way less damage than boxing. Loma is definitely way more brutal and scary than boxing, or MMA is definitely way more brutal and scary than boxing, but boxing can cause more long-term brain damage. They're both causing brain damage. One of the greatest pound for pound of all time. He's a natural 126. Are even smaller pounder, and he goes all the way up to 35. Champion's heart. So pretty cool, man. Jake Paul will call him out soon. So yeah, Lomachenko gonna fight Jake Paul somehow. We got some Reddit stories. I think we got a short day today, guys. I'm giving you guys getting off early today on Friday. Daisy Fresh are in the CJI 2 lineup. Sweet. You guys here somebody brought it up, what I was just thinking about. Hilarious that Hillbilly Hammer is competing, but J-Rod is banned from B Team. Well, they didn't say he couldn't compete. They just said he couldn't compete for B Team or train at B Team. And pound for pound couch situation sounded way worse. Now that you mention it, it's pretty weird, isn't it? Well, you gotta take that up with Daisy Fresh management. They didn't do nothing. They didn't reprimand the dude. They didn't do nothing to that dude. So, Daisy Fresh, that's on you guys. Now that you mention it, it's pretty weird, isn't it? One got caught jerking his rod to pictures he put on in a picture album. The other actually abused someone. I'm reading allegedly. Yet our perception is that the one with the pictures is somehow worse and more gross or creepy. We're not saying that. We're saying that Daisy Fresh didn't really hold Jacob Couch accountable. You guys take that up with Daisy Fresh management. You know the difference between Daisy Fresh and B Team, guys? I'm going to see if you know the answer in the chat. Yeah, what's the difference between Daisy Fresh and B Team? Did it turn out that he didn't actually do the AI thing and had pics? Let's see. Not saying I agree with Couch being on the team, which I don't, but competing in CJI is different than belonging to a physical gym, in my opinion. There was a comment on the Modern Wisdom interview, something of about training at B Team that was pretty cringy considering Jay's situation. Said, really, bro, this dude just got outed for abuse. Is J-Rod banned from CJI? I don't think Craig has a ban against J-Rod from competing, though, so it isn't 1-1. Like, Craig has accused Gordon Ryan of being I can't say that either. Can someone more versed in the lore tell me the difference between Daisy Fresh and PSF? It's the same thing. Pedigo Submission Fighting is the official name. Daisy Fresh is a nickname from the laundromat they trained in. It was the actual name of the old laundromat. They just never took the sign down until it fell. Well-deserved team. Ironic, though, they kicked out J-Rod, which I agree with, then are now promoting and talking highly about Crouch. My brain is in the gutter, too, guys. Did anyone hear Craig say Isaac isn't allowed to compete in CJI for legal reasons? Anyone know about that? Didn't B Team snitch on him to ICE for teaching seminars while on a holiday visa? That's level of pettiness that would have a worthy mention in the player's hater ball. I'm guessing it was never in the cards, but I'm bummed with this confirmation. In fact, AOJ didn't send a team with Pato, Cole, Tynan, Janatis, and Gutenberg. Well, Janatis too small. Actually, maybe, 66, 77, 88. Janatis can't do 99. He's a little too small. He's strong enough. He's just small. Gutenberg could possibly do plus 99. They don't do things unless they have a high confidence they can win. AOJ said they don't bet. In my opinion, they have a solid lineup, but protecting their brand and image comes first. Says you nailed it. Explains why Tynan's who's number one matches are always with people below his level. I mean, just put him with Mika. For God's sakes, put him with Mika. That's basically the only person at his level. Or Giancarlo. Giancarlo, can you cut down to 88 or 77? Who would Tynan fight though? Mika Galval. He already fought. Oh, maybe a homeboy could beat him. Ooh, Joseph Chin would be a good one. Joseph Chin. He already trained there though. They scoped him out. Maybe Big Breakfast again. 77. There's not too many people I think would beat Tynan. J-Rod had a good match. You gotta put some crazy dudes, some of those crazy B team guys against them. They might get smashed too though. Same here, or at least Hoffa comeback fight. Gee said recently Hoffa isn't coming back. Their Nogi team wasn't going to stunt on folks, and they chose not to compete. Yeah, this was my dream team pick. Wish they had made it work. Honestly, could have ditched region teams and done AOJ Alliance checkmate. Plenty of options to keep original intent of real teams versus real team. And even one wild card for each team would have been enough to give the big names not on a big team a spot. Agree with all the comments. Would have been sick, but it does appear the AOJ brand comes before taking risks towards greatness. It says, you can always buy another couch. Yeah, I want to be honest. I don't know if couch should be there. I don't know. You know what we saw with Final X? They didn't care. They let in homeboy come back through. Kyle Snyder, he had to single it out. They let him come back. So, I mean, I guess they can let J-Rod come back and let Couch. They can let whoever. They can let everybody in. So what's the difference? Let's see. B team pretends to care about women. Pedigo just stays quiet and waits for people to forget. Yep, that's it. Because B team is so in the public eye and they're always on social media and they're doing all this stuff. They are held more accountable. You guys so used to bantering with Craig Jones that he can't fight the mob. He's like the Roman emperor, the Caesar. He can't, he might be in charge, but he can't overturn the mob. When the mob turns, he has to relinquish to the mob, or else they turn on him. So that is the downside to power, the way that Craig Jones has got power, That might be one upside to Gordon Ryan because nobody really likes him that much. Sorry, Gordon. At least his public persona, so he can get away with doing and saying more stuff. And, that's just how it is. But with Craig Jones, he's more of a public figure, so he's got to listen to your voices, guys. I don't want to say slave, but he's a slave to the mob. He's got to do what the mob wants him to do. We saw it with the girls when the girls jumped on him for not having a female bracket, female division. He had to relinquish to that. You see him flip flop all the time. He's a politician. He's a good politician. Craig Jones, you need to run for office, bro. Not here in America, but go back to Australia. Let's go back to Australia. I vote all the Australians need to go back. I got the Trump policy. Go back to your country. Brzezinski, go back to Poland. Craig, go back to Australia. Wherever you came from, go back. It says well deserved considering they have 4 to 6 athletes compete at the last ADCC. Guys like Couch and Dante Leon are always finishers and will be great in the open weight format. It says guys like Couch are also women. Can't say that. Bizarre thing to do when J-Rod was kicked off B team. Having Daisy Fresh as the mystery team feels like a way to cool off the couch stuff. I mean, wrestling let back Kyle Snyder. CJI is going to have Couch on there and possibly J-Rod. It's hard to hold these people accountable. And I mean, you guys aren't going to hold them accountable. I try to hold people accountable. You guys jump on me. You guys jump on me when I'm saying, hey, maybe not have Kyle Snyder. Hey, maybe not let Kyle Snyder wrestle this Final X. Just this one time. I'm not saying ban him from wrestling forever. Just all right, hit him in his wallet a little bit. Hit him, make him pay for it a little bit. So he can learn his lesson and send a message to everybody else. I would have said the same thing. Hey, maybe not have Jacob Couch on the card. Don't have nobody named Jacob on the card, okay? Nobody named Jacob on the card. You guys love him, I know, but it's gonna send a lesson. It's gonna send a message to all these guys out here that are messing around, fooling around. But they're not gonna do anything. They're gonna let the status quo stay. So, nothing I can do. I'm on my podcast. That's the best I can do. I'm saying stuff. It says Dante versus PJ Barch is probably the best match that could happen in CJI too. Maybe. Yo, my man PJ Barch getting old. Ain't he like 38? You're missing the whole point of Quintet. I want to see crazy stuff like Fabricio Andre versus Michael Pixley, John Carlo versus Nicky Rod, and Ty Rotullo versus Victor Hugo. We all want to see that. Reminds me of the Pride days. Bring back the freak shows. Ironic that Couch is competing after J-Rod got banned from B Team, but the results of the team are definitely deserving of the spot. It's not ironic. J-Rod is banned from B Team, but nobody has confirmed he's banned from CJI. He could have gone with another team. I mean, I was expecting more about knowing which is the best team. Check Matt, AOJ. Others could get a decent lineup, but instead they had 3 misfit teams, and some of the included ones are not the best. I'm not saying it's CJI's organization's fault, but I think it could be better. They got time. If you guys keep complaining, luckily, Craig Jones he's always on Reddit, I don't know how does he do all this stuff? He's on Reddit, he's on Instagram, he's making posts, he's at Flow Grappling, he's in Thailand, he's in Brazil, he's all over the place. Like, how does he stay sane? So yeah, CJI too, we'll see what happens, man. I don't want to talk about this. I'm tired of Craig Jones. I talk about Craig Jones every day. I'm tired of Craig Jones. Go back to Australia. I actually do like Craig Jones, but I'm just harsh on him. Ecological approach doesn't work for everyone. You guys love ecological. Jiu-jitsu people just like whatever the fads are, and they want to jump on the bandwagon. They want to be cool and say they know what ecological means, although nobody knows what it means. They want to, they want to be cool. It says first ever post. Can you guys see? Let me move myself over. What about this? First ever post, but something makes me frustrated in the way my gym teaches classes. So my gym has been full ecological approach in all classes since a while, meaning absolutely zero technique details ever or drills with resistance, but always 2 people full resistance as in sparring and both have a specific task what to do. However, as a white belt of a year and some months, I feel like my gym takes Echo way too extreme. Some examples of typical class. One close guard is put hands on the mat. One is close guard where you have to put hands on the mat or create arm in arm out scenario. No further explanation. Ecological, that's you guys. 2, standing, one gets underhook and try to lock hands as in body lock. Other try to free, yet no one has any decent underhook techniques and spam same techniques since we never drilled nor get shown correct ways. To all Echo nerds or people critical of this kind of approach, I would love to get some thoughts on 2 questions. Does Echo approach work for everyone? Because I feel I learn way less than in technique and positional sparring, free sparring than this. More than 10 classes combined. Stand-up Echo approach, good or bad? Personally, it's hilarious how we all suck still at defending or offense or offensive with an underhook or single leg finishes, and our stand-up is still trash. For context, we are in Western Europe where we don't wrestle almost except recently. Okay. So yeah, ecological. This is what you guys want. Where am I? This is what you guys want. This is what I'm in a chair. This is what you guys want. So you guys want ecological. You guys don't want to warm up. You guys don't want to drill. You guys don't want to learn techniques. This is what you guys get. You get bad at jiu-jitsu. And you can thank Greg Saunders for that. Imagine you paid to learn ecological and all your students just suck. Just imagine all this ecological training and your students just are terrible. Again, I think it's kind of a fad. Marketing. Nobody listens to me though, so I say do the warm up and drill the techniques. Maybe do a little bit of positional sparring, ecological, a little bit. Do some regular rolling. The same the same recipe. We ain't changing the recipe. I mean, you can make a new recipe, but doesn't sound like the new recipe's working. I think a lot of Echo proponents will say your gym is doing Echo wrong. You're doing it wrong. I do a mix. Yeah, you're doing it wrong. You're not. Whenever they say you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Are you sure? I do a mix of both and find he's a white belt as well. Look, he's a white belt. I'm right here reading the first. I don't know if I should listen to you, white belt dude. I do a mix of both and find both Echo methods and traditional methods valuable. However, I think to learn using Echo methods requires a lot of more deliberate planning and specific guidance from the coaches. The games you described don't sound great to me. One thing my coaches do in Echo classes is we'll have a game and then they'll share some ideas and concepts that will help in that game. And then we'll go again. Sometimes they do show specific techniques. I feel like this is all or nothing approach of never showing techniques or giving specific guidance is really bad. Exactly. This is how we do it. We do a game. Coach asks how it went. People describe problems they found. Coach shows a few ways to solve the problems. Go and repeat. This is how Prick Mickelson does all his seminars. A series of games with decreasing constraints with breaks in between for troubleshooting. Man, I don't like that. I want to learn the techniques. Am I alone in that? I want to learn your techniques. I want to see your thought process. I already know my thought process. I don't want to see what I'm going to come up with. I want to see your answers to certain positions. I haven't been to a Pritt Mickelson seminar. There might be a reason for that. Blue Belt says Pritt seminars are so good. I'm not listening to you, Blue Belt. Says I think Pritt's approach for beginners is often better too, starting with submissions and finishing position games first, and then working backwards to the more open, chaotic, highly variable phase of grappling. That's true. I don't want to go to a seminar for that though. He was also doing this teach backward stuff in some of the older Globetrotter classes before he was aware of CLA. It may sound counterintuitive, but for those worried about beginners being too lost in CLA games early on, it makes things much more manageable and surprisingly less injurious since it allows more safety-oriented teaching early on. He talked about it on BJJ Mental Models. Shout out to BJJ Mental Models, one of our sponsors. Something I'm thinking, I don't know if this is real or right, but I feel like the CLA, the ecological, it gets new people, with no base to I'm not going to say competent, but it gets them feeling like they're making progress and they're able to grapple faster. They're able to grapple faster. But it doesn't seem like they're good. Does that make sense? It's like I can it's like I feel like it's like using the oven versus using the microwave versus using the stove, the oven. Using the microwave versus using the oven. So there's certain things I can put in the microwave. It's going to come out quick. Like a sweet potato. Sweet potato. That's a great example. Sweet potato. I can put my sweet potato in the microwave, and I can get that thing cooked and very quickly. Possibly 8 minutes. All right, now my sweet potato, it's not probably the nutrients. I probably didn't get all the nutrients. I probably zapped some of the nutrients out of there, possibly. It's probably not going to be as good. It's not going to be as good. It's edible. The sweet potato is edible. That's what I feel like the ecological approach is. We can get that potato edible faster. But it's not good. And there's nothing I can do to make it good, I could maybe throw some butter on there, some cinnamon, some salt, some sugar for some of you guys, you crazy guys. But it's still ain't gonna hit, Now, if I take my time, I put the sweet potato in the oven, it might take an hour or two. I gotta be more patient. I just gotta wait. I gotta wait longer. But once that potato is done, 2 hours later, I've waited. I've been patient. I've been holding my hunger in. Once I get that potato out, it's delicious. It's sweet. All the sugar in that sweet potato has been activated. It's been released. It's soft. It's delicious. So I think that's like the traditional method, the drilling that you guys hate, the rolling, the warm up. All the stuff you guys hate, that makes the sweet potato good in the oven. But I feel like the ecological approach is the quick fix. I'm nuking the sweet potato. I'm gonna get it faster, but it's not gonna be comparable. That's what I'm starting to see. I'm looking for. Ecological is new too, but I'm looking for the results from ecological. Of course, you got the Corbry bros that wrestled and trained for years before they went ecological. I'm saying they could have been good anywhere. They could have been good. They could have been good at Lloyd Irvin's. They could have been good. They could have been great at JT Torres. They could have been good at Marcelo's. They could have been good at Fight Sports. They could have been good at Alliance. They could have been good. They could have been good anywhere. I don't know if Echo made them great. They beat Pato. One of the brothers beat Pato. I think he went to. Did he do the ADCC? I mean, I can't talk. I lost my first match at ADCC as well. I didn't have a coach. I was coaching myself. I had my friend Jeff coaching. I don't have a big team behind me. I don't have a coach that all they do is help me figure stuff out. I figure stuff out for myself. Sometimes I lose. Also, guys, remember, I'm natural. I'm out there with whatever I got. I'm out there like what's the guy with the what's the arrow guy? What's the guy in the Avengers with no powers? He just got the bow and arrow. That's me. I ain't got no super serum. I ain't got no gamma rays. I ain't got no Thor's hammer. I ain't got no super suit. I ain't got no spider powers. I'm out there with the bow and the little bow. I can't hurt nobody out there. Jason says, I don't do echo, but it sounds like his coach just isn't very good at teaching this style. It's like his instructor watched a couple of games because he is lazy. Well, that's ecological. You're supposed to be lazy and ecological. Ecological is all about the quick approach. All right, take the same instructor. He shows the drill. Say he's like on his phone. He's one of those instructors. He's on his phone. Okay, ecological. He shows the ecological drill. All right, white belts, figure it out. Okay, good or bad, I don't know. All right, same instructor, different timeline. He sees a drill, a technique. All right, you guys gonna drill this move for an hour. You're gonna drill berimbolo for an hour. Or you're gonna drill this underhook takedown. You mentioned underhook in the video in the post. You're gonna drill this takedown from underhook for 1 hour. Who's gonna be better? The ecological kid playing around, don't know nothing, or the guy that saw the technique once and was forced to drill it for an hour? I think the drilling person gonna win. It's gonna be sharper. The person that drills gonna maybe figure some stuff out. I think ecological overestimates how curious people are. Some people are very curious. John Thomas is like that, very curious, a lot of self-taught, very self-taught. Someone like that's going to be self-directed. He's going to go off and figure things out for himself. The ecological approach would have been great for John, but most people aren't like John. Most people aren't like Mikey. Most people aren't like Danaher. Most people aren't like Greg, aren't like Gordon Ryan. Most people aren't like Craig Jones. Most people aren't like Joseph Chin. Joseph Chin was on Reddit. He was on BJJ Mental Models. He's listening to podcasts. That's not most people. Most people don't have that intellectual curiosity about jiu-jitsu to want to spend so much time figuring out the techniques and figuring out what ecological means. They don't have time for that. They're working. They got kids. They got school. They got stuff going on. Most people, especially white belts, they don't know what's going on. You got to give them more help. He says he's in Western Europe too, so some of these places they don't have access to black belts. They might have a purple belt teaching, a blue belt teaching. So, and a lot of times they're on social media. They're learning from, they copy Gordon Ryan's DVDs. They copy Danaher's DVDs. They're just copying what they see. So, they're copying ecological. The fact that the guy didn't know what ecological means that the ecological people aren't doing a good enough job of marketing and explaining what it is. Does he have a program on this? Let's see. You guys can say I'm hating. Maybe I'm hating. Greg Sodders. How much is this course, guys? You guys purchase the course and let me know. I hate Greg Sodders. Where's his website at? He don't have no website with his course on it? Oh, there you go. Standard Jiu-Jitsu. My man has done a good job of promoting himself. He needs a course out here. Where's the ecological course? I think BJJ Mental Models has some he has some audio master classes, but I want to see a course on this. I guess nobody knows what it is. Nobody's got an ecological course? Greg Sodders, what are you doing, bro? So yeah, Greg Sodders, he should be monetizing this. He needs a course out there to explain ecological. Or it just seems like nobody knows what it means. I mean, there's no course. There's very little literature. I mean, ecological sounds like ecological. It. So ecology, which is a scientific study of how organisms interact with their environment. Ecology is broad structure. Is that right? I think the AI got us wrong. Yeah, we don't know what ecological means. Let's move on. I'm getting tired. Let's watch a jiu-jitsu match. You know, we're gonna watch Batista versus Jansen Gomez.
And Braguinha are underway.
The Corby Bros said they competed all the time and never had success until Echo. Again, this is why I tell people try different academies. Maybe Echo worked for them, but not for. That's true. I think they never had a dedicated coach. That's what I'm saying. I think they could have done well with any dedicated coach. Also, aren't they full-time engineers? So the time I think they're still pretty young. The time they were competing, weren't they like busy with school and stuff? Like they couldn't focus on their on the training. But yeah, sometimes you click with the coach. But again, they had a lot of background. They trained with other coaches. They had a wrestling background. Same thing with Danaher. What's the difference between Danaher? If they had gone to Danaher, you think they would have been successful? If they went to Danaher, New Wave? Same thing. Say they went to Guy Mendez, you think they would have been successful? Or B Team. If they went to B Team, you think they would have been successful? I think so. What gyms did they train at before? Can you tell me, Jason Whitfield? Can you do that research for me? If they were
pulls guard.
If they were at Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu and they never had success, all right, okay, I understand that. You were at Joe Schmo Jiu-Jitsu and you didn't win no tournaments? I completely understand it. So yeah, I just want to see where they were at first. We'll kind of break this down. We're going to speed this up, guys. You know, I don't watch matches normal speed. So Batista goes to pull guard. Batista has a good guard, but Jansen Gomez has been on fire. So
Gustavo pulls guard.
Match. Go pass.
They've met 3 times in IBJJF competition at black belt. Gustavo Batista has won those 3. Got the ankle lock in last year's final. That was their last matchup.
Batista looking to go to X guard, single leg X.
Threads that right leg back through.
Gustavo's trying to go for that ankle lock again.
So here, if I'm actually doing a video on this, but Jansen fought Batista last year, same thing, finals of Worlds, and he got caught in the ankle lock here. So that kind of changed the momentum of the match. That Jansen was able to defend the attack. It was kind of close though.
Right leg back through.
Gustavo's trying to go for that ankle lock again.
Oh man, this is in deja vu here.
And Jansen's able to kind of break it down. So once he grabs the elbow, that's it.
Oftentimes you'll see that with the ankle lock attempts. Someone will try to drive their knee down to the floor and kind of clear their ankle behind them. But that requires their other foot
so now Batista's in a bad position. I call this Lucas Lepre position. So you kind of need to let go, but again, Jansen is going back on the other side now, which is good at move.
Great job by Gustavo Batista switching to the
but Jansen, Jansen's been on fire, man. I think he submitted all of his opponents.
Pulling with his left hand to break that grip off his knee, and there he goes again, but not able to move it at all.
Yeah, he was able to kind of shut it down, the game. And it's kind of wild because this is what Batista does to people. He shuts people down. He's looking to go to maybe the X guard or invert. That was nice.
Man, Jansen takes a look at the pass. He's around to the back now. He's going to jump through.
That was nice. Can we slow that down? 0.5. Let's see. So X guard, yeah.
As Gustavo underhooks the leg.
I think Jansen jumps forward, goes to post his hand on the floor. Right hand. Oh, he jumps out. Yeah.
Wow.
Jumps out, spins through.
Jansen.
And he's able to force Batista to turtle.
Man, Jansen takes a look at it. Pass. He's around to the back now. He's
on the back.
Trying to take the back. And Gustavo
Not Batista's best match, you know. Sometimes you got matches like this where you're just down.
The mat.
And you just gotta
huge moment for Jansen.
Jansen's gonna 2 advantages there total.
Batista's he's got really good attacks here when he turtles, because he can roll back to like a knee bar, he can roll to 50-50. Jansen's kind of ready for it though. And they get into this kind of
2 advantages there total.
you see Batista's trying to work back to the knee, looking for the possibly 50-50. So Jansen did a good job. He didn't go into 50-50. He's pushing away. Most people kind of go into 50-50, but that's Batista's like strongest position.
Salvo trying to pull that knee back into a better position for him. 2 advantages awarded to Jansen Gomez.
And then we're gonna skip forward a little bit. That's Batista's wife. We're gonna skip forward.
2 advantages for Jansen.
So Jansen, just good strategy. He got 2 advantages. If Batista comes on top, he would get 2 points.
7 minutes here.
Checkmate and Atos going at it again. Here at the
but he's down 2 advantages, so this very strategic battle here. Jason says Corbry Bros only trained at Coastal BJJ in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Also, they only trained at Gi before going to Standard. Their coach was Nestor Bayat. So couple things there. I don't know who the coach at Coastal BJJ was. Who was the coach there? Coach might have been one of the dudes on the phone. He on the phone all the time, not helping them. And they made this switch over from Gi to no Gi. So that also helped in their success. Maybe they were better in no-gi. That happens sometimes. I'm trying to think of some athletes that might. JT Torres. Think about JT Torres. Never won worlds in gi. He was really good. He had Lucas Lepre to thank for that. But he went to no-gi. What happened in no-gi for JT Torres, guys? What happened to JT Torres in no-gi? What happened to JT Torres when he went to Atos? So yeah, so many factors. You almost can't just say because of ecological those guys were successful. I'm thinking, they got out of school, they had more time on their hands, more money, more freedom to travel. They're doing no-gi. They got a coach that actually focuses on them. Maybe they matured. Maybe they had some help. They're doing better. Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I want to see more proof from ecological. I need to see, I want to see the kid, the 5-year-old kid that only trained ecologically. That's over there winning worlds, over there winning Nogi worlds, over there winning ADCC, over there winning CJI. I know it's new, but it takes time. It takes time. Even in experimentation, it takes time to verify results, right? Isn't that the whole point of experimentation? Somebody's got to verify those results. You had some results. Okay, let's see if we can replicate those results to prove that your results were accurate. Yeah, I'm hating over here. So yeah, Jansen doing a good job. Got the foot in the butt. Got the foot all up in the butt. He's trying to stay out of that 50-50.
As a reminder here, Gustavo's in bottom position, so if he were to come up, he scores the 2.
Go,
Jansen looking to almost reset the grip.
go. That's Jansen's nickname.
There's really no need for him to try to come up right now.
Batista wants to score advantages before he comes up.
Controlling that left foot of Jansen. He's got to be careful there.
Jansen's pants keep falling down. So yeah, he's trying to stay out of the 50-50. Batista has really good inversions from here. He can go to the back and some other stuff.
And it's going to prevent Jansen from coming back up to his right knee.
We're skipping. He's tying his pants.
So, yeah, so with Gustavo having both of those grips here, it's going to be really hard for Jansen to come up.
My man Jansen got his foot all up in the balls and the butt.
Can't pull his right leg back, right? So he may try to go underneath.
You know, we got to do what we got to do, guys.
Unless he's able to pummel one of his legs inside, but again, they're being controlled, right? So he tries to come up a little bit there in response. Goes underneath as Gustavo tries to come up.
So you see Batista, he's really good at inverting. I think he did like a bolo entry.
Inside, but again, they're being controlled,
right? Oh, actually,
a little bit there.
Yeah, kind of a bolo entry. Jansen's watching out, but he's got to be careful. I already know the results.
Pant grip there from Gustavo.
He almost got it. He almost got it. He almost had the octopus, but Jansen was able to keep circling out. Oh, Jansen went for the octopus.
Could come up on top, but instead it's Jansen.
Gustavo hugging the leg.
You know, Jansen was. I mean, he can just intuit his way out of stuff. Batista looking for another ankle lock, but Jansen's ready. He studied
Gustavo
from last year.
To a single leg X position, controlling Jansen's far pant leg with his left hand. It's going to be an advantage for Gustavo Batista.
One advantage for a near sweep.
For Gustavo at the halfway point of this medium heavyweight final here at the 2025.
The thing is, we saw Jansen flying through this guard earlier, so I think he's going to redo it.
Gomez, Gustavo Batista.
Stepping over, forcing half guard. Smash pass, or folding pass.
Jansen reached back for a second there, trying to control Gustavo's left leg to maybe push that knee down and get past it. Gustavo falls well.
Nice.
Wow.
That was a good pass because Jansen, he had a grip, he lets go, and then he re-attacks. So that's a good strategy there. He's going left side pass. He had his grips here.
Left leg to maybe push that knee down and get past it.
He lets go. Boom. Comes back in. Able to force Batista the turtle for another advantage.
That's an advantage for him.
And again, time's running down. He's going for the back. Normally Batista can get out of these positions pretty well. But Jansen was ready for him.
Has given Jansen the opportunity to adjust the back.
Jansen was ready for him.
Gustavo is still in this fight.
Gustavo trying to defend his back. Jansen has one hook.
He's trying to go to the bottom hook side to keep him secure. He's got a rear naked choke grip here, but Gustavo's still rotating.
Going for the head and arm, the Ezekiel.
Potentially a seatbelt grip here.
Looking for the Ezekiel.
Has an Ezekiel in.
So all he's got to do is just waste time, you know? Just waste time. Pretend to choke him out. Don't mess up. You know, rack up advantages.
He could definitely finish from here as well, but he may
it's so hard to score, guys, but man, them advantages really matter.
Or keep that heavy pressure if he wants to go to the mount. We've seen him here multiple times through the tournament.
Yeah, all you got to do is waste the time. The time's going to go through fast.
He's going for the attack here.
Jansen readjusting that grip on the Ezekiel. Gustavo doing a great job defending the position thus far.
Ooh,
Jansen's getting a little bit of a better angle.
Go for the finish. Go to the finish.
See,
you know, Batista was Batista was breathing out his ears.
He's going for it.
And this might allow Jansen to come up to the mount node.
My man was breathing out his ears.
Amazing defense from Gustavo Batista.
So he should have racked up some advantages.
And his composure in these
for
situations.
I think it should be 5 though. Am I right? I might be wrong. So strategy, you know, strategy is so important. Something I've had to deal with. You think you go out there, you're going to pass Batista's guard, or are you going to play guard on Jansen Gomez? You know, good luck. Some of these guys, all you can do is just hold on, get your advantages. Try to take the back, you know, try to go for the choke.
Reaching for that collar with his right hand around the neck.
Yeah, it's just you just got to go out there and fight, you know, unless you're Tynan.
Out of that center line of the back position.
I think Tynan and Eric Muniz were the only dudes that like dominated. Everybody else out there, you got to fight, bro.
Left hand on the lapel, which is really helping him keep himself anchored. He's trying to keep his chest and his center line aligned.
5-0, 5-1 advantages.
Advantage is going to be called back, so still 4 for Jansen, 1 for Gustavo.
And then, you know, a lot of this psychological. You're down 3 advantages. They took 1 advantage away. You're down 4 advantages, 3 advantages with 1 minute to go. You're tired.
Really nice work by Gustavo.
You know the tide of the match is against you, so you're just like trying not to get submitted.
1 minute now.
And it's rough. It's rough, you know. It's something every athlete goes through.
He's on the side of the hook with his leg and the overhook.
So he's going for the choke. I don't think he's gonna get it, but he's you know, racking up advantages here. Another advantage.
5 seconds here.
Batista just chilling. Batista's got good defense.
Gustavo still fighting off that top hook, which tells us that he's not too threatened by the choke yet. His hands are still down defending the legs. Still no points on the board for Jansen other than these advantages that are racking up. 24 seconds. Gustavo tries to roll through here, potentially has a look at a leg.
Jansen knows he's got it, so he about to hit the the today.
Jansen is up.
About to do the today.
6-1. Make that 6 advantages 7-1. Just add one more on the board. The only hope here is Gustavo to put something on the board, whether it was pulling straight to a sweep or taking him down, but man, with an athletic chance in 11 seconds, that is going to be very, very difficult to do. Let's see what he goes for in these 9 seconds.
It kind of sucks when you're out there and you you can't win. 10 seconds.
Jansen staying active here. 5 seconds left.
10 seconds, he knows it's gone.
Jansen Gomez, your 2025 medium heavyweight black belt world champion.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to listen to this. Maybe watch this next time. I'm tired, guys. I'm going to go get some food, guys. Thanks for joining my live stream. We might watch this tomorrow or whenever day I come back. I need to jump on Twitch eventually. But I hope you guys are enjoying these live streams. I'm enjoying it. We're getting some views on here too, man. It's growing slow and steady. Again, we talked about ecological. Ecological bros would pull a Craig Jones and say some crazy stuff, clip the videos to, get as many people on this live stream as possible. That works really well. But I'm all about slow growth, I want the slow growth. I want to, get better at hosting the live stream myself. That takes time. Can't rush that, And it's something I want to get good at it first. I don't need to have a million people on here and I suck at live streaming. So, I want you guys to see the growth. I want you guys to see, oh man, he got that. Oh, the video's looking better. The microphone's working better. Oh, the audio's better. Whatever else is working. So we'll keep trying to grow this thing, I'm just going to be consistent Monday through Friday at least. I do 10 to 12 possibly. And that's it, man. We've got some tournaments coming up, but I think I should be good to live stream all next week too. We good, bro. We good. Final X coming up. I'm going to try to get out there, man. Nobody else want to go, but I'm going to go. I got a Jersey Open. No Tokyo, no Asian Championship for me yet, but maybe one day. If I grow the live stream big enough, we can go out there. I don't think the Japanese like live streamers though, so it might be rough. That's it, man. A lot of news. Lomachenko retiring. Rosinski retiring. Rosinski right there. Rosinski retiring. Where's Lomachenko? Lomachenko retiring. So a lot of things changing. You gotta have some plans moving forward. That's my advice to Adam Rosinski. I think he's going to have a school or something, so we'll see. If you were on here the other day, I was like, bro, go back to Poland. Cost of living's better. You could probably afford a house over there. Healthcare is better. But if you want to live that American lifestyle, try it out, man. Let's see about a year from now what happens after a year. Because I remember Fionn was trying to move to America, right? What happened with that, guys? She said, screw this country. Can we see that school? So this is the school she's trying to open up, so. They're going to have all the Europeans, I think, man, I just feel like Rosinski could have been out there too. And I get people want to have their own thing. But I feel like, man, if Rosinski was over there with the Armor crew, Langaker, Egan, O'Flanagan, who else over there? Fionn, Nia, Tarek, Tommy. Can you imagine if Rosinski was over there too? What kind of athletes they could create? I'm just thinking, man, it's better to build at home, man. And so that's the gym. Oh, can we see the gym? The last thing, guys, last thing before we go. Some mock-ups of the gym that Fion's going to be running. That's the little juice bar, reception area, locker room. You guys get your wallet ready. Cold plunge. Get your wallet ready, guys. Get the wallet ready. I ain't got no money in my wallet. Sauna, cold plunge. Got the hair dryers, the backlit mirrors there. Got the mat number 1. Go over here, mat number 2. Upstairs. Gym, nice gym. With the lighting, you know, you can shoot your influencer content there. Little cafe area. Man, pretty awesome, man. So I don't know, man. I know everybody wants to be in America, but I think, you know, I just feel like Rosinski could do more. He could do more in, you know, maybe he could do this in Vegas. It's possible. I don't know. But man, imagine he did something like he built a big school in Poland. Man, he could create he could have the whole Polish team, bro. The whole Polish team ready to go, bro. Little Polish Rosinski's running around, playing butterfly guard in all the divisions. So that's it, guys. I'm dipping, man. If you guys want to support the channel, inverted gear, BJ Mental Models, yada, yada, yada. Offer code ALEC. I'm tired, bro. I'm getting out of here. Good luck today, guys. Happy Friday. Get some good training in tonight or tomorrow, Saturday training. You know the drill, guys. I'm going to play my inverted gear, and I'm going to get out of here. See you guys.